Hi everyone, this is Kristen with the Tech Reviewer, looking for the perfect leather case for your new iPhone 14 Pro Max and can't decide between this lovely leather case from Apple and this gorgeous leather case from Nomad. Both of them are great options, but they do have their differences. In this video, I'm going to show them both to you on my iPhone 14 Pro Max in silver so you can compare, contrast, and make an informed decision. Let's get started. So looking first at Nomad's modern leather case in its Horween leather variant, this is just a lovely case. So the leather on here is really what you're going to be talking about. The leather is fantastic. It is from the Horween Tannery in Chicago, which is one of America's oldest tanneries, and it's the last remaining tannery in Chicago. So gorgeous, full-grained, vegetable tanned leather. This is leather like they used to make it. This is leather that you really are going to appreciate and love. If you are into leather, you're really going to like this case. So that is definitely an upside of this case. Also, you're going to get a significant amount of drop protection with this. We've got a polycarbonate frame, we've got TPE sides, and we've got a microfiber lined interior. All of these are going to work together to give you 10 feet of drop protection with this case. Really very impressive. The case is also mag-safe, and it's really easy to get on and off your phone. So lots to love here. Let's check this out on my 14 Pro Max. So again, super easy to get on and off. Just clip it right on and you are good to go. Once on, we got a good fit on here overall. We do have some give over your button areas, but there really isn't any give over your port opening areas, which is interesting because the two usually go hand in hand. But in this case, this area is quite firm. There's no sagging at all. In fact, you can't really even pull it away from the port opening areas, but you can over your button areas. Overall, though, I think we've got a good fit on here. As far as the amount of lip is concerned, this is very small, particularly because I have an edge-to-edge tempered glass screen protector on here. This is one by Casetify. It's a good fit here with this case, but it swallows up most of the lip. There is still a small amount of lip on here, but not tons. So if you're the kind of person that likes a lot of lip, that might make you a little bit nervous. But as I said, this case does give you 10 feet of drop protection, so that is reassuring. Going down here to our port openings. These port openings are symmetrical for an asymmetrical port design, but there's kind of a reason for that, and that is that we have a spot here for a lanyard on both sides. So you could attach a lanyard over here or over there, so I guess they can be forgiven for having this symmetrical port opening design on an asymmetrical port designed phone. As far as access here to your lightning port, you should be able to fit many third-party lightning cables here, although of course this case does support both regular Qi wireless charging as well as MagSafe charging, so you might find you're using that functionality less than you otherwise would. So looking at the sides of the case, the majority of these are going to be TPE rubber. As you can see, the leather extends a very small amount around the edges here, so you got a little bit of leather on the sides, but it's mostly TPE. This TPE rubber is going to be good as far as impact protection is concerned. It doesn't give you a whole lot of grip, however. This is not a terribly grippy case. Then going up here to our buttons, the buttons are excellent. They are very responsive. They also don't have any kind of a problematic slit button design that some cases have, which let dust or dirt in. These don't have that design at all. They work great. And then our mute switch area here is a bit on the small side, but I personally have no issue accessing it, and I think that this is bigger than the one on the Apple leather case. So both of them are small, but this one is really not too bad. And then looking at the view from the top, as you can see, we've got a very good fit here with this tempered glass screen protector from Casetify. It does take up most of the lip on the case, so if you didn't have this on here, you would have more visible lip. But even with it, you do still have some. And then going over here to our side button, the side button is textured and extremely responsive, so everything is good there. Looking at the back of the case, everything is just beautiful here. This leather is fantastic. The quality is very impressive. So again, this is leather from the Horween Tannery in Chicago, Illinois, one of America's oldest tanneries and the last remaining tannery in Chicago. So you're looking at really traditional leather here, Great leather smell, great leather feel. They don't do anything to remove any small imperfections in the leather. So sometimes you can see like little dots on here or whatever, but it's all smooth. It's all really real feeling. It is going to develop an excellent patina over time. It's also the kind of leather that is going to pick up little scuffs or marks, but then those are all going to blend into the overall patina after you've been using it for a while. Just a lovely, lovely case here from Nomad. So you're going to pay $20 more to get this fancier version of the modern leather case from Nomad. They do sell a cheaper version, but in my opinion, this upscale leather is definitely worth it. So I don't have the 14 Pro Max version of the other version of the modern leather case, the one with the less expensive leather, but I do have the one for the 14 Pro. And if you look at the two side by side, the 14 Pro version is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not as high end. Just doesn't feel quite as nice. So it's definitely an option, but personally, I think if you're going to buy a leather case, you may as well buy one which has leather which is going to delight you. And in my opinion, this is leather which delights. So just a lovely, lovely case. So looking here at the amount of protection for your rear camera, you definitely have lay on the table design here. This is not an overly high or an overly low lip. It's pretty standard. Things should be well protected here. And as far as wireless charging is concerned, regular Qi wireless charging is going to work perfectly. And because this is a MagSafe case, this is going to work perfectly with Apple's MagSafe charger as well. So the magnets on here are basically just the same as the ones on Apple's leather case. Nice and strong, no issues. You're also going to be able to use this with other MagSafe accessories, such as MagSafe power banks. I'm particularly partial to this one from Pataka. I think it's really cool. It's an aramid fiber power bank. But obviously, you're going to also be able to use this with other things like Apple's MagSafe wallet. They're all great. They all work really well. Removing this case from your phone is very easy. Just start in your top right-hand corner, press that off, go down to the bottom right-hand corner, press that off, and then pull out your phone. So in addition to the modern leather case we've just been looking at, Nomad also has a modern leather folio. This one is also available in this same gorgeous Horween leather, as well as a less expensive leather variant. This leather is just so beautiful. Again, this traditional leather, full-grained, vegetable tanned, absolutely fantastic look and feel and smell. This is really a leather for people who appreciate leather. So just a lovely case. Looking in the interior, you have 3 card slots. You also have a slide pocket for more cards and cash. The case is MagSafe. This is lined in a soft microfiber material. It's just really quite outstanding. So this is easy to slide your phone into. Once on, fit is quite similar, so we have the same little bit of a pull aside from the volume buttons and the side button, but almost nothing here at the bottom in the port opening area. Overall, I think we've got a good fit on here. The amount of lip that we have on here is, again, pretty minimal because we have a tempered glass screen protector in place. If there were no tempered glass screen protector in place, you would have considerably more visual lip. But overall, I think everything looks good, and again, it's a nice fit here with Casetify's edge-to-edge blue light blocking screen protector. Looking at our port openings, these are exactly the same as on the modern leather case. We've got a spot here for a lanyard on either side. Plenty of space for most third-party lightning cables. Everything is good here. And then we have our same TPE sides, giving you additional protection. The buttons are excellent. Everything works really well. You can operate the volume up and down buttons with the case closed, which is cool. And as far as access to the mute switch is concerned, exactly the same as on the modern leather case. Looking at the view from the top, everything looks great fit-wise. And then going over here to our side button, it's the same as on the Modern Leather Case, so a little bit of texture here, and it's extremely responsive. Looking at the back of the case, this is absolutely fantastic leather again, just a pleasure to touch, pleasure to smell, etc. Exactly what you'd be expecting for high-end leather. It's going to wear great over time, develop a fantastic patina. This is just a beautiful case on the phone. So as far as wireless charging is concerned, this is going to work great with regular Qi wireless charging, and of course MagSafe charging is going to work great too, just like the Modern Leather Case in the non-folio version we were looking at. You're going to be able to use this with things like MagSafe wallets if you wanted to, although that's a little strange to use with a wallet case, but it will work. And of course, you're going to be able to use this with things like MagSafe power banks as well, which is perhaps a more reasonable use case. So just a beautiful, beautiful case. Protection for your rear camera is going to be the same as we saw on the Modern Leather Case, non-folio version. So no more and no less than what you'd expect, pretty much in the middle as far as the amount of rear camera lip is concerned. As far as the wallet functionality of this case is concerned, we've got 3 card slots and 1 slide pocket. So putting some cards in here so we can see how it looks. Now we got 4 cards in here, so considerably more stocked up. When you close it up, not surprisingly, it's not going to close all the way by itself. But if you hold it closed, you can see it's not too huge. Notice that we don't have any strap here to keep this closed. However, there is an optional strap you can put in place. So I think that's cool because strap people love straps, but the non-strap contingent is also very strong, people who hate straps. And for those people, you don't have to have the strap in there all the time. So this clever little strap that they have goes in through your card compartment. So all you need to do is slide it in here, and there's a little slit here on the other side. So you slide it through, push it through the slit, and then when you pull it through, it catches on the inside, and then you have a strap which you can then use to magnetically close the case. Works really well. And I think the really great part about it is you don't have to have it on there all the time. It's not a super strong magnet, but it's absolutely sufficient. Works well, and really once it's in place, it actually looks like it was always there. So really cool, and again, quite easy to install and remove. The downsides of this being in place is that it gets in the way of MagSafe charging. But that's again not a huge deal because all you have to do is move it to the side and then you're okay. It's also going to be in the way of various other MagSafe things like MagSafe wallets or MagSafe power banks. But again, all you have to do is just move it and then you're okay. Or simply remove it altogether. Overall, this is just a really lovely product from Nomad. Moving on to the Apple leather case, there is a lot to love here. This is very slim, very lightweight, a little bit of flex to it. We have soft leather here on the sides and on the back. You've got that Apple logo. If you love having an Apple logo on your case, you're going to have to go with an Apple case because Apple cases are the only ones that are allowed to have that. Our leather has a lovely look and feel, although I personally don't think that it has as high an end feel as you're going to get with the Horween Nomad Modern Leather Case. But it's still really nice. No one would ever say this is bad leather. I just don't think it's quite as nice. So we got a raised camera rim to protect your camera. We got metal buttons. The interior of the case is lined with a soft microfiber and it's MagSafe. So lots to love here. Putting your phone in this case is extremely easy. Just start on the one side and then put on the other corners. Also notice that we get the cool sound, and then you also have that little graphic that comes up. You're only going to get that with an official Apple case, so that's cool if that's something that you like. Once on, we have a really great fit on here. There's no sagging, nice tight fit. As far as the amount of lip is concerned, you have a little bit more lip than you have with the Nomad Modern Leather Case, but not much. And again, I do still have that Casetify edge-to-edge screen protector on here. So if I didn't have this on here, you would definitely have more visible lip. Overall, really nice, slim look with this case. Just a lovely case on the phone. Looking down here at our port openings, we've got asymmetrical port openings for an asymmetrical port design. Everything is perfect there. Beautifully positioned, beautifully sized, no issues there. Should be able to fit many third-party lightning cables here as well. Going up the sides, so this leather has more grip than the leather that is on the Horween Nomad leather case. A little bit more texture here. Everything feels lovely. Going up here to our buttons, metal covered, very nice and responsive. Just lovely buttons. Quite a small area for the mute switch. Again, not a problem for my fingers, but people with larger fingers might find that problematic. The mute switch area on the Nomad cases is going to be more generous. Going over here to our side button, and again, another metal button, very responsive, just excellent. Looking at the back of the case, I think everything looks lovely. So this leather has a little bit of texture to it, so it gives you some grip. Very nice look and feel. We've got our Apple logo here, so I think that looks cute. This is a very slim case. Looks just lovely. As far as the amount of protection for your protruding camera, it is basically the same as we saw on the Nomad Modern Leather Case. So definitely gives you lay on the table design, but it's not particularly high or particularly low. I think everything looks great here. So the two areas where I think that the Nomad Modern Leather Case and Horween Leather wins over this case would be in drop protection and in leather quality. So drop protection wise, Apple never tells you how drop protective their cases are. They're not drop rated to any particular height. I think they're definitely going to provide some protection, but how much is unknown, whereas you're going to get 10 feet with a Nomad Modern Leather Case. As far as the leather is concerned, comparing them side by side, you can just see they're really different. So looking here at our Horween leather here on the Nomad Modern Leather Case on the top, this has more of a glossy texture to it. You can see teeny tiny imperfections if you look closely. Those are from the original hides, and using these traditional techniques, they're not trying to cover those up. I mean, this is going to show you that it's real leather, I guess. You're going to get more of a patina with this type of leather. You definitely have more of a leather feel, leather smell. Overall, I think that the Horween leather just looks more premium, more fancy. And then in comparison here with the Apple leather, this one has more of a uniform texture on it. It does give you a little bit more grip, which is good, but it just doesn't have that same, oh wow, really premium leather reaction that you're going to get with the Modern Leather Case and its Horween version. So just depends upon what you're looking for. Both of them are good, just different. So all in all, I think both the Apple and the Nomad case options are excellent. So your Apple case is definitely going to win in terms of thinness, sleekness. It's just a lovely case. Comes in more color options. You got a total of 5 color options here. This particular one is called Ink, but you can go with a bunch of other really lovely options as well. This also is giving you the all-over leather look, which some people really prefer as opposed to having sides which are not leather. You are going to have a limited amount of drop protection, but for some people, what Apple is going to give you is going to be enough. But I think that the strengths of the Nomad Modern Leather Case in its Horween version are the fact that the leather is so premium. This is leather that really makes you say, wow. And if you're going to have a leather case, I personally think that you should get that kind of leather case, because why go with leather if it's not something that's going to make you go, wow. Plus, this is going to give you that 10 feet of drop protection, and it also comes in a folio version. Not that many cases out there have a Folio version, and for people who really like a Folio wallet, this particular one is very well designed. So definitely some great options here for your iPhone 14 Pro with both the Apple and the Nomad leather cases. Again, we've been looking at some great leather cases for iPhone 14 Pro Max from Nomad and Apple. The Apple leather case for the 14 Pro Max is priced at $59 and comes in the ink color shown in this review, as well as umber, forest green, midnight, and orange. The Horween variant of the Nomad Modern Leather Case for iPhone 14 Pro Max is priced at $69.95, and the Folio version of the case is $79.95, and both cases come in black as well as the lovely rustic brown color featured in this review. You can save $20 on your Nomad cases by going with a more affordable non-Horween leather option, but you're not going to get the same traditional quality leather experience. Many thanks to the kind folks at Nomad for sending me out their cases to review. I purchased the Apple leather case myself. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments section below, and do hit that subscribe button because I've got a lot of tech accessory reviews coming up. Again, this is Kristen with the Tech Reviewer. Thanks so much for watching, and have a marvelous day.